Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Viva Erotica, a Hong Kong genre bender from 1996. If I had to describe it in genre terms, I would classify this as an erotic drama, romance, comedy. Most notably, it was co-written and directed by Derek Yee. Now, I've reviewed a handful of Yee's films over the years, including Lost in Time, Drink, Drank, Drunk, and Triple Tap. In terms of star power, Leslie Cheung is our male lead, and we get Shu Qi and Karen Mok in big roles. Now, this film was rated as Category 3 within the Hong Kong motion picture rating system. Usually, when I review a Cat 3 film on this channel, it has copious amounts of graphic violence and or sexual content. But that's not the case for Viva Erotica. There is some nudity and some sex in this, sure, but it's pretty tame when compared to some of the other stuff during this era. So the story centers on an unsuccessful film director, Kwok-wing, played by Leslie Cheung, and his producer, who agrees to make Category 3 softcore porn movies for their financial stability. Now, early on, Leslie's character mentions that he hasn't worked in a while. He gets a meeting with an executive who is also a triad gang boss. And this executive, does not seem to care that much about film quality. He simply wants to make some money. So you have that in the background. Now, a lot of producers and filmmakers are doing it within the context of the film. So Leslie is coerced into joining in this project so that he could save his struggling career. Production difficulties follow, but the filmmakers become focused on finishing this low-budget sex film. So the film opens in pretty energetic fashion, with Karen Mok's character begging Leslie Cheung to have sex with her. Good start to a film like this. Quite an animalistic scene, but it's presented in a mostly classy manner, and it avoids becoming gratuitous. Nicely shot and colorful moment, gets a little bit steamy, I guess you could say, but it also has a humorous undertone, and that's kind of what this film is in general. Pretty wild opening scene, though, given the energy on display. But I would describe Viva Erotica in general as pretty lively overall, which makes it quite fun to watch. There's a lot of energy in this movie. It's essentially a film within a film, because you're following a bunch of characters who are filmmakers. And some of the moments showing the characters' film shoot showcase some of the chaotic problems that are inherent in making a film. Stuff like budget limitations, set designs, and problematic actors all come into play here. Now, one of the main themes of this is the love of filmmaking. All right, and this is evident in not only the passion of the characters, but also some pretty good conversations between Leslie Cheung's character and his buddies regarding the film industry. The dialogue has a certain realism to it, feels pretty down to earth. There's also a sentimentality to the film as well, and its heart is in the right place. Quite odd for a Cat 3 movie, if you've seen your share. But like I said previously, this is less abrasive and offensive compared to most Cat 3 films. This does have quite a bit of humor, some of which is on the wacky side. On the other hand, there are moments that are slightly more nuanced. For example, there are a few daydream sequences where, Leslie's character imagines himself in another more glamorous profession, or simply interacting with his film crew in different surrealistic ways. And if you've ever seen the Cat 3 movie, A Chinese Torture Chamber Story, you'll get a kick out of this because there's a short scene from that film that's showcased here. Yes, if you were wondering, Shu Qi does get naked in this film. Actually, early on, her character refuses to take off her clothes despite starring in an erotic film, which is quite amusing and ironic, but that production problem ends quite quickly. In fact, I noticed 2 of the 3 lead actresses from the action movie So Close in this. Obviously, Shu Qi and Karen Mok. And that actually reminds me, I've not reviewed So Close on this channel yet, which I will be rectifying in the near future. But yeah, if you're a fan of any of the Hong Kong movies from the late 90s to the early and mid 2000s, you're going to recognize a lot of the people here. Now, Leslie Cheung is one of those actors that I wasn't that big of a fan when I first saw some of his movies, but over time, I've grown to appreciate his performances, and I quite like him nowadays. So, he kind of anchors the film from start to finish. And as an added bonus, a few big-time Hong Kong actors show up later on as like cameo appearances and whatnot, so look out for that. So I would say if you're looking for like a more heartful Category 3 flick, Viva Erotica is a good choice. It has enough class to it that I don't think it's going to offend most people, as long as you can handle a little bit of nudity and sex, right? Currently available streaming on the archive.org website. There's also a Blu-ray release from Vinegar Syndrome. And as always, folks, I'll see you next time.